it used to do landscape, but now it only does portrait for some reason. I don't know why. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, it's just kind of stupid. But anyways, yeah. So anyways, this is D-Max, the amazing D-Max. So I mean, right now we're giving him a platform to defend himself against all the supposed Keemstar haters.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, honestly, like a few Keemstar haters were saying, "Oh, don't give D-Max a platform to defend himself," you know. But you know, screw them. You know,
I know. What do they think I am? Fucking pyro?
Exactly, right? I mean, like seriously. I mean, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, dude, thanks for coming on. So I guess like tell all these people, which I'm sure a lot of these people know who you are, but if they don't, like tell all these people, like, I guess about your channel and what you do.
Okay, well, I think it's a pretty common misconception to think that like I only do stuff on that one channel, which is my channel, which is just named D-Max right now.
So
I actually do a lot of stuff all around the internet. I've done stuff. I've been on YouTube for like collectively for probably more than 5 years now.
Okay.
I've done a lot of stuff. I've done stuff for Versus, stuff for So You Want to Be a Master, stuff for other various YouTubers.
Okay.
I had like 2 other channels before this one, but I just make like stupid little fucking, you know, YouTube silliness, and people enjoy it, and it's cool. D-Max is the cancer of the internet, says Gerald. Yeah, he's pretty much.
I would say he's pretty bad. I mean, we've talked in DMs before. I mean, yeah, he's pretty bad. Like I'm the
worst. Like it's like I'm like fucking herpes, man. I just keep on coming back.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You can't get rid of me.
Yeah, I mean, like once you think he's defeated, he comes right back. So
it's
like,
true.
Yeah,
it's very true.
It's absolutely true. So that's basically what you do. So like, I didn't know that you've had more than one channel. So like, how like since you've been having more than one channel, exactly like, how can I put this? Like, what have you done on those other 2 channels?
Well, I started out like a lot of people doing Let's Plays.
Okay.
That was like my first thing. I was heavily inspired by the Game Grumps and the way that they kind of do their comedy. And I really like when I first set out to like do YouTube stuff. I always had the idea in mind because I was always very entertainment oriented. I've always wanted to do something in entertainment. My big thing was always trying to set myself apart from everybody else. So even at the very beginning, I tried to do silly edits, and I tried to be a lot like Barry, who edits Game Grumps. Cool. And that kind of, eventually, over time, that kind of adapted into other things. I started doing reviews. I started like looking at things a little bit more critically, trying to do other content that wasn't just Let's Plays. But I was still having a lot of fun with Let's Plays. I was doing it with friends. And then, I don't know, and then I just got off the rails and started doing fucking commentary videos, and now I'm legit cancer.
Yeah, and now basically, I mean, you're basically a Leafy clone at this point. Is that right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I
mean, everybody tells me that all the time. I always ask them how exactly I'm a Leafy clone, but it's just the conversation falls flat kind of after that. So
yeah, I mean, basically, once people ask you, like, you have really no like other explanation. You just gotta admit, yes, I'm a Leafy clone. You know.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like, what am I gonna say? Like, I saw Leafy's videos, and it didn't inspire anything that... See, okay, look, this is a comment... Okay, I hate it when people say whatever is a clone of whoever, because the thing is that you're always going to be inspired by whatever it is you see. Even if you don't like it, even if you do like it, it doesn't matter. You're gonna see it, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I mean, that's influencing your take on whatever it is in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, so I mean, I honestly don't like when people say, oh, you're a clone of this and that, because you're not. I mean, unless you're like copying the word from word and stuff like that, you're not a clone. I mean, yeah, sure, you may like the stuff that you're doing, but you're not a clone at all.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're
I'm glad
not.
Somebody sees that.
Yeah, you know, see, this is why D-Max is my friend. And now if D-Max does anything to me, we'll just say that, hey, well, we used to be friends. You know. Anyways.
Oh, yeah.
So how did your channel grow big this fast? I mean, you have 2,000 subscribers, which isn't like Leafy style, but it grew very fast. So I guess tell people how it grew that fast. So I made the first video about Katie Triggers Me, talking about how, you know, she's kind of in between love interest right now, and that she should try to settle down and try to find one that actually likes her and appreciates her for what she is. So I just made like a silly, stupid video, and to be honest, that was only going to be like a one-off. Like I was only going to do one like in that style. Then I was actually going to be talking. I was thinking about actually doing more reviews for games and stuff like that.
But because of the, but then I started like posting it on Twitter, and I actually, I sent it. I sent it to Keemstar, and then Keemstar saw it and he liked it, and then he actually made a post about it and tweeted it out to all of his people.
Yeah.
And then I had like, and then I just started getting like thousands and thousands of views, and then I started getting like this little fan base, and now they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, I know. Right? Like, I wish I had a fan base here. I mean, that's pretty amazing. So that being Keemstar helped you out. What is your opinion on Keemstar? I know you've made a video about it, but I guess maybe go a little deeper on what you think about him. Exactly. Like
Yeah, absolutely. So I think what needs to be said first of all with Keemstar, in my opinion of him, is that people are okay. How should I put this? All right. Do I think that Keemstar is evil?
Okay.
No. Do I think that he is the smartest person in the entire universe? Absolutely not.
Okay.
I think in most cases he's like anything that he does, I don't think he does it out of malicious intent. I think he does what he does because one, he's selfish, which is not inherently a bad thing.
Okay.
And two, because he's stupid and he doesn't think about the outcome of whatever it is that could happen.
Yeah.
So with my video, I was essentially, if he saw it, all I was trying to tell him was, don't have a knee-jerk reaction to everything.
Yeah.
Because you can think things through a little bit more critically. And in YouTube, since drama is such like now like a part of it, and since like his whole career is basically based off of controversy, he should see those kind of things as a positive, and he should look for the long term rather than trying to get back at somebody in the short term. It just doesn't make any sense that way.
Yeah. 1 second, okay, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. So now, okay, so have you gotten a lot of hate from your video defending Keemstar? Because so far, I mean, I know there are other videos, but that's really the only video that I've heard like that gone into detail defending Keemstar. Have you gotten hate from that?
Not really. I've had some people say that I've had a couple people actually unsub from me because I made that video. But I wouldn't really consider that hate. I mean, I completely and totally understand if people don't like Keemstar and they don't want to affiliate with anybody who defends Keemstar. So if you count that as hate, then I guess that's hate.
Yeah.
But in terms of like actually people like flaming my videos, I've made it pretty clear so far in my videos that if you flame my videos, you're just helping me. Yeah. So I think a lot of people have kind of saw that have seen that. And they just they decided to kind of not post comments, which is actually kind of great because it gives me because the people that actually do are in opposition to my to what I'm saying about Keemstar, they actually are able to divulge a little bit of what their take on the whole situation is. And so they'll be like, I disagree with Keemstar, I disagree with what he stands for, but I appreciate you as a person, and I appreciate the fact that you're trying to be argumentative rather than just shut it down with a simple shut the fuck up, or, Keemstar's evil, or fuck it,
Yeah. Alright, cool. So now, going on to dramaalert, do you believe that dramaalert ruins careers?
No, I think, I don't necessarily think that dramaalert ruins. Well, okay. I think that it's started a lot more careers than it's ruined.
Okay.
I think that because of controversy in the way that it is on YouTube and how marketable it is anywhere, it's that's a hard question. I think,
okay.
Yeah.
So it's not really like a one-sided question. There's multiple sides to that question.
What'd you say?
It's not really like a one-sided question. There's not like one answer. It's kind of like both ways.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I'm not going to sit here and say that, Keemstar is saying that he's done no wrong. I mean, obviously, dramaalert has created a lot of drama as well as reported a lot of drama. That's like kind of the thing. See, the other thing is that like when you're reporting drama, when you're talking about drama, that in and of itself is drama. So there's really no way to avoid it without kind of doing that. Like news reporters do this all the time, and this is why things blow up the way that they do. for instance, and not to get too political too fast,
okay.
but for instance, with the Orlando shooting, which I live 6 miles away from,
Yeah.
There was one reporter that decided that this was a gun thing rather than, whatever. And then the rest of the media just started blowing up about it because everybody just started, tooting the same anti-gun trumpet. And that's essentially, that's an example of something like that can kind of happen. That's drama, I would say. Like that's, it's not as petty as YouTube drama, but that's pretty much drama.
Well, yeah, I would say that's more of a news story than actual drama, only because, hey, guys, people actually died in there.
In this context...
Yeah, well, I know what you're saying. I'm not saying that's
drama
wrong.
and news are very, very similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and someone asked later on there will be a question segment. Yes, there will. If not, there might be a question segment, pretty soon. So, yeah, there will be a question segment probably later on, or if not, probably really soon. But anyways, keep going, D-Max.
Yeah, no, but that's, that's pretty much it.
Okay, yeah.
What was the actual question?
It was, do you believe dramaalert ruins careers?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Sometimes, but not always.
Okay, so obviously you hopefully you've seen the videos that Grade A Andre, Leafy is here, and Pyro made about Keemstar. Have you not?
Yes, I've watched the same video 3 times.
Yeah, same. I've watched all of them like 6 times by now. Do you think that there is a way to push Keemstar off the internet? Like, can you think in your head that there's a way to push him off the internet, or do you think that he's probably fine?
You gotta understand, Keemstar is a very particular type of cancer. He survived in many different ways. As a matter of fact, he's not even supposed to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
He was banned by all accounts. He's only here by a loophole. So, do I think that you're ever going to be able to get rid of Keemstar altogether? Maybe off of YouTube.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it's possible. But do I think that Keemstar will be gone forever? Absolutely not. I think he will always find a way. That's just
so basically
that's the nature of the beast.
So even if this loophole does expire and he gets off, do you think he'll find another possible loophole if there even is one?
Well, I think it's no secret that the fans, that the whole YouTube community is starting to get kind of fed up with YouTube in general.
Yeah.
So I think eventually a new platform is going to present itself, and when it does, I believe that Keemstar will have a place on that platform as well.
Really? So you believe that there's going to be a new YouTube, that YouTube basically it won't?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. If there isn't a new YouTube within the next 5 years, I'll make a new YouTube.
So basically, so D-Max, so you'll make a YouTube, this is for record, you will make a new YouTube, is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, I don't know much about coding.
Yeah, I know.
But I will try my hardest to make something of that nature.
Okay,
because I feel as though YouTube is kind of just going in a bad direction right now, just with everything.
Just with the drama, or just with the copyright, or what?
Oh, no. I mean, the copyright problems, yes. Drama, no. I think drama's great. Drama's a good thing.
Yeah, same. It is definitely a good thing. But keep going.
I think that, YouTube is going downhill because of the lack of, they just refuse to listen to the content creators. They do in certain ways, but they only listen to some of the content creators. They only listen to the good boys and girls. And the thing is that the good boys and girls are not the ones that are sparking controversy and are not the ones that know the inherent issues and problems.
Yeah.
The only reason why they changed the copyright policy of being able to, or the whole thing where you have an actual account set off to the side, so that if a video is copyrighted, if a video is copyright claimed, then it doesn't go directly to whoever copyright claimed, even if it was false. That took a long time to fix, but there's still a huge amount of problems with the copyright system the way that it is, and I think that YouTube could easily solve it. Well, maybe not easily, but they could solve it. They definitely have the manpower. Google itself has the money in order to do that.
It definitely
does. It's just refused to fix these problems.
Why do you think they refuse to fix these problems? Do you think it's because of other companies, or do you think it's because they're just lazy and they don't give a crap?
Well,
or maybe a third reason that I don't know of.
Well, because I think it's fairly, it's probably
for the reason that copyright is kind of a very sticky issue, and yes, it does have a lot to do with big businesses and corporations and film companies and things like that. You know, the music industry and all that stuff. But at the same time, I think it also has to do with basically the legality of fair use. Okay. And how exactly that starts and stops. Where does it, like, when is something considered fair use and when is it not considered fair use? We haven't really found a great way to talk about that as a community. We haven't found, like, the actual thing, you know? We haven't been able to actually sit down and go, okay, what is it? Because, I mean, even now, it's so funny to me, too, that, like, commentary videos are such a huge thing in basically a world, or basically in a YouTube and a community that has completely and totally shut out reaction channels. Essentially, they're the same thing. It's just a matter of how much editing goes into it. If you edit something, if you edit a reaction video, then it's essentially a commentary video. So,
all right,
it's interesting to see those weird parallels in the lines for fair use.
What about FUPA? What do you think of FUPA? Do you think that's a way for the YouTube content creators to, I guess, defend themselves against YouTube's BS copyright problems? Right.
Well, I made a video about FUPA as well, and in the video I basically stated that I think FUPA is a fantastic entity. I think it makes a lot of sense for the situation that we're in currently, but that is to say, we should try to find something better, because this is not going to be the be-all, end-all. A YouTuber union is not going to work.
Okay, so you don't believe that the YouTubers union is strong enough, basically, to defend itself against?
No, it's not that I don't think it's going to be strong enough. It's just that I feel as though, even if it were strong enough, I feel as though it could be easily corruptible, and it could put bigger content creators first above, above smaller channels, which isn't fair. And so it's not. Essentially, it's not the best possible solution. The best possible solution would be something that can, have an equal effect across the board for everybody, regardless of channel size.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So now, what do you think about YouTube's new terms of service change? That one little extra bullet point that might spell doom for Leafy, and Pyrocynical and all that. Do you think it's as bad as some people are making it out to be?
Okay, well, let me lead off with that by stating that if you make anything on the internet, or if you make anything in general, meaning I don't care if you're out on the street corner with your guitar and you're singing, some song, some Beatles song, some Beatles cover, and people go by and they throw you're always going to, in terms of art, being an artist, you're always going to be subject to some sort of criticism.
Okay.
And the thing is that criticism, regardless of how you see it, is always going to be caught as inherently negative. So it will be looked at as harassment. So this is going to be something that is, so I feel as though this new policy is going to be, again, something that's like copyright, is going to be very, very, it's just going to be misused, I feel. So it's cancer. It's a really stupid Band-Aid solution for a problem that, again, is just not even a problem. It's really, who cares? Honestly, I got bullied on the internet. It's just oh, well, don't go on the internet. Sorry.
Yeah, basically, I mean, I was going to give my opinion, but this is an interview, so we're not going to do that. Okay, so you don't believe that these terms of service are really going to take down these big YouTubers?
I hope not. That would be
it would be pretty bad. Yeah.
If they, how about this? If they do, I hope they do it in 5 years when I'm making the new YouTube, so that I can just ask them all to come to mine.
Okay, okay, cool. Also, if you do make that new YouTube, I think I'm definitely gonna be a part of that somehow, because that's definitely a lot of money wasted. So yeah.
I mean, it's a long ways away, and I'd have to find somebody who can code really well, or a team that could code really well. So
exactly.
It's a far off dream, but who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now I guess I'm gonna go into a segment where I'm gonna ask your opinion on some YouTubers, and for the people watching here, you can list some YouTubers in the chat, and I guess D-Max will give his opinion on them if the ones I don't list it in there. So yeah, we're just gonna list off a few YouTubers, and D-Max will give his opinion on them. So D-Max, what do you think of grade A under A?
Oh boy. I like Grade on the whole.
Okay.
I appreciate him. I think he is very, very funny. I think he's very, very smart. I don't appreciate the attack that he had on Keemstar because I feel as though it didn't really add much to the conversation. But that being said, part 2 hasn't come out yet. So maybe there's more to it that I'm just not aware of. But it seems as though he was beating the same drum that everybody else has been beating. So for that, I kind of... It's muddied the water for me with him. But the only other problem that I have with him is the fact that he runs he has like a multi-million subscriber channel, and he refuses to up the quality. Now, albeit it's cute that he uses Window Movie Maker for all of this stuff.
He actually has. He actually did say he has changed it from Windows Movie Maker to something else. I'm pretty sure. But keep going.
Well, I mean, like, it's okay to have a style.
Yeah.
But I feel as though he should kind of, it's a little bit more. Just a little bit more. But other than that, I really have no problem. And hey, if that's a style choice and he just likes that, people, I mean, whatever. Who am I to judge? You know?
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So one person I think just typed in the chat, "Hey, watch your mouth gaming," or I'm pretty sure it's just "Hey, watch your mouth." And you know who he is, right? Hey, watch your mouth. Yeah. What do you think of him?
Well, it's funny because that was actually Gerald, who's a meme on Hey Watch Your Mouth.
Oh, really? Gerald, hi, how's it going? I always like to be friends with some memes, so yeah, that's great. Anyways, but yeah, what do you think of Hey Watch Your Mouth?
I think he's funny. I've seen a couple of his videos. To be honest, I've only recently started kind of getting in touch with him. So like YouTube as a whole community is very, very hard to be involved with and to like network in because there's just so many people out there. But out of the like 4 or 5 videos that I watched of Hey Watch Your Mouth so far, I've liked all of them. I really don't have a problem with them. I think his style of video is actually very, very unique. I haven't seen anything like it in a while, so it's cool. It's a good thing.
Okay, so obviously this guy was going to come up eventually. What do you think of Leafy is here, or Leafy is queer? I think that's what he calls himself sometimes. Yeah. What do you think of Leafy is queer?
Leafy is queer.
Yeah.
I think that Leafy is a cyberbully.
Okay. So you do think like he's pretty cancer? Is that what you're saying?
I think that he is. How should I? Let's see. I don't know, he might be a genius in a way. He really might be.
Because I did watch your video on the whole Fupa thing, but yeah, keep going.
He might be, like, he might actually be playing this whole shtick as like a way to get like Google amounts of attention. Yeah. And so for that, from a businessman standpoint, from like I think I think he's pretty. I like his videos. Sometimes I watch his videos anyway, so he's cool. Recently, he's kind of been getting a little watered down and everything like that. But I understand, YouTube's kind of changing pace, and it's going to be hard for commentators with this new policy. So I'm curious to see where he's going to go. But on the whole, I would say, Leafy's pretty funny. He's probably cancer, but again, so am I.
Yeah,
so who cares?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, Leafy has been growing pretty much. If he grows to, like, let's say, 8 million subscribers in the next year, so do you think that YouTube Red would ever put him on his own thing? Like, do you think YouTube Red would ever put him on his own show? I'm just wondering that for so long. I mean, I doubt it, but that'd be pretty funny if he did. I'm just saying. Do you think YouTube Red would ever do that?
Well, being somebody who would like to have their own YouTube Red have their own YouTube Red original series at one point, I would be interested to see what kind of YouTube original content Leafy could make.
Yeah. Because, I mean, they did the whole PewDiePie Scares thing, which, I mean, that's honestly, yeah.
What is it?
PewDiePie Scare PewDiePie, I'm pretty sure. Basically, it's just...
Yeah, Scare PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little cringe. I watched that.
Yeah,
I have YouTube
I did
Red.
too, yeah. I don't have YouTube Red,
It's a little. I mean, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I don't have YouTube Red, but I basically got it for free and just took advantage of that and never bought it again because I don't have my own job and this YouTube thing is not even barely making me any money. So, yeah. But anyways, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Finish.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah. So Scare PewDiePie, interesting. I don't know. It's funny sometimes. It's interesting. You know. Okay. So I do. I am in my last semester of film production and technologies, at college at a college at Valencia College, and it has taught me a lot about the film industry and things that go into it, from art department, to grip and lighting, to all across the board, production, everything. So from that background, looking at Scare PewDiePie, it really highly impresses me, some of the stuff that they were able to do and pull off. But some of the performances in the show, I guess, were not as entertaining as I would have hoped, you know. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Oh Jesus. Okay. Whatever. One person is saying in the chat, which I just read. What do you think about Shorby? Do you know what Shorby is? I think I saw Shorby reply to a few of your tweets, so I'm pretty sure you two know each other. So what do you think about Shorby?
Yeah. I mean, well, recently Shorby has taken some initiative to try to change his channel up and do something different from the stuff that he was doing, the stuff that he's been doing. Like, a lot of people have been calling him forever since he started making a Leafy clone, which the parallels are pretty much there. Like, it's a pretty easy assumption.
Yeah.
There aren't many people who can actually be like, okay, they're a Leafy clone, but I mean, it's there, and he makes fun of it sometimes, and he jokes around about it. I think sometimes he's a little overly sensitive with it, and hey, I mean, if everybody's got their triggers, so I mean, it's whatever.
Okay.
But I think that it's very admirable that he's trying to do something other, to do something about the criticism that he's receiving, rather than just brush it off and just be like, ugh, whatever.
Yeah.
About it.
Okay. One person asked in the chat. What do you think about this guy named Gerald Dank or something? I mean, that honestly, I never liked the guy. I honestly hate him. But what do you think of him? Like, is he?
He's a piece of shit.
Okay, is he like worse than Leafy and stuff like that? Yeah, what would you say?
Oh, he's the worst. He's the absolute worst. I mean, like, every once in a while I message him on Twitter and stuff like that, and I just tell him straight KYS, because he's the only person in the world that I probably would be able to say with full certainty that I hate.
Okay, yeah.
I dislike intensely.
So you hate him with a fiery passion.
Molten lava-esque passion, less than a fiery, or more than a fiery, I would say.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah, that makes sense. So probably like worse than a fiery, if that's what you would say.
I'm sorry.
Like, would it be like worse than like a fiery passion, like the molten lava? Like, is that worse than a fiery passion, or just like worse?
Well, okay, all right. Maybe more towards the degree of the sun and how hot the sun is. That would be probably. No. You know what? Fuck it. A supernova. To the fires of a supernova. That is the fiery passion that I dislike. Dear Gerald.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That is probably it.
All right. Okay. So let's see. What do you think of Pyrocynical?
Pyro. I love you, Gerald. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Pyro is okay. Well, I like Pyro. I like Pyro more than Leafy, actually. I'm willing to say, because I think he adds a little bit more to the conversation rather than just like a fucking I'm gonna kill myself.
Exactly.
It's just, it gets old. But that being said, I think that Pyro is as prone to having knee-jerk reactions as Keemstar is. I think that this whole thing about the pedophile thing, you know, the 15-year-old that he, whatever, 15, 14, 13, whatever it was, all of the above, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think that if he hadn't like overreacted to that initially, I think that if he just like kind of let it die out, or if he just joked about it, that it would have been fine. But I think, like Basher, I think, you know, the whole thing about like going and crying about, you know, like, oh my God, the internet is calling me something that I'm not. It's like, you know, when it's can I use derogatory slurs in context?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's like if somebody came up to me or posted on a thing calling me a nigger.
Okay.
It's like, the thing is, it's not. It doesn't mean anything to me because I'm not. First of all, I'm not black. Second of all, even if I was black, I wouldn't take offense to it because who fucking cares about that kind of shit? Like, who cares about words that people use to offend? So, like, the whole thing about me responding to it, me having any response to it, of just like, oh, well, you shouldn't do that, or like, you know, blah blah blah, anything rather than just like, yeah, I'm the nigga, you know, like anything like that. Okay, like joking about it is great because that just diffuses the situation like that. But anytime that anybody kind of like props themselves up as this kind of like, oh, this is unbelievable. I can't believe that, you know, that he would call me a pedophile. I can't believe anybody on the internet would call me a pedophile. It's just like, please, come on. Who cares? I mean, that being said, again, Keemstar probably shouldn't have done that. Probably. He shouldn't have done that.
Definitely.
But overreacting to it is not going to fix the issue.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and it's hard sometimes because I overreact to things too, and I kind of sympathize with Keemstar because it's like, yeah, even then, it's like, you know, I mean, all these people are calling him out. I mean, yeah, of course he's going to have some knee-jerk reaction. So, yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's like I said, everybody has their trigger.
Yeah.
For Pyro, it's calling him a furry. So you just try it.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, like basically, I called Pyro a furry once on his Twitter, and then he blocked me. So you know, I mean,
that's another thing, man. Fucking Twitter blocking is such pussy bullshit. It's like. It's so stupid. It's like, oh, okay, you got to me. There you go. It's like as soon as you block anybody, it's just essentially you're saying you win.
Yeah.
You know. It's silly. It's silly. Even if people are spamming the hell out of you, again, it all comes back to the idea that if somebody is if somebody's doing that, like they're promoting you. Doesn't matter what context, if it's negative, positive, whatever it is, it's entertainment. You work on YouTube, so it's a good thing, regardless of context or morality.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, let's see here. Okay, what do you think of Jack's films? If I'm pretty sure you know who he is. What do you think of him?
Oh, Jack's film. I don't know enough about Jack's films to say anything about him.
Oh, you don't? Okay, so like, well, okay, so the stuff you do know, what do you like about him? If you have anything.
I don't know like anything about him.
Okay, so you basically can't form an opinion on him. Is that what you're saying?
No idea, no clue.
Okay, someone typed in chat. Ask him if he is a furry, what does that say? I don't even know what that says, probably some gender slur or something.
Oh, ask him if he is a furry demi-queer.
Oh,
Am I a furry? Okay, well, I'll say this. Have I jacked off to furry porn?
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, so you have.
I have.
You have. Okay.
I have, but the thing is that, like, that doesn't necessarily make me a furry, because I JO to just about...
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was really questioning how long that joke was going to run, but yeah.
No, yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, like, look. Some furry art is actually really interesting. Like, I like it. It's visually pleasing to me because it's just like, wow, they put a lot of context into this.
Yeah.
Excuse me, put a lot of time and effort into it. So it's like, it's in terms of an art form, it's fun to look at. I think it's funny.
Okay.
You know? It's like, this is silly anthropomorphic ridiculousness.
Yeah.
No, I am not technically a furry.
Okay, technically, no, I'm just kidding. We're not doing that again. Okay,
I'm not technically.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think of Boogie2988? If you know enough about him to form your opinion.
I love Boogie. I do love Boogie. He's been one of my favorite YouTubers, or not my favorite. I mean, he's been like, top 10s. he's a great guy. I think he always tries his best to be the best person he can be.
Yeah.
He gets a lot. I mean, he used to get so much shit for being overweight, which is just something that he can't help. It's just it's that things go, and that's just. Sometimes it's just you're dealt the cards that nature deals you, so it's not like Keemstar, right? Because like Keemstar has a learning disability, and I think that's something that people always throw under the rug. Like Keemstar is dyslexic. That's why like when he says stupid shit, when he like mispronounces names on dramaalert, it's like when people make fun of that, it's just kind of like and don't get me wrong, like people have every right to make fun of it. But the thing is that's kind of that's the easy way out for an insult, in my opinion. So like calling Boogie fat is not fair. But anyway, back to the subject. Boogie is a fantastic person. I think that he takes things a little bit too seriously sometimes, and sometimes I worry for him with the way that YouTube community is. They always want more, and I think that sometimes he doesn't put into it what he wants to do, rather than what everybody wants him to do. I think sometimes he has a little bit of a problem discerning that. So.
Alright, okay.
But he's good.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go fix the camera, but I want you to answer this question. What do you think of PewDiePie? I think that's how you pronounce it. PewDiePie.
Oh.
Yeah. What do you think of him?
Felix.
Yeah, Felix.
Yeah. He's a cool guy. I mean, he's the biggest YouTuber for a reason, right? I mean, whether it's like some kind of analytical flaw in the system, he got really super lucky and everything like that. Whatever it is, he is the biggest YouTuber, and I think that he does a lot of good with his platform. Sometimes he gets involved with the drama, and I think again it's another case of taking things too seriously. But I like him on the most part. Actually, I've started watching his videos more and more as I've gotten older, which is interesting because when I was younger, I hated him and I didn't want anything to do with him. There used to be a war between him and what's that guy
KSI?
Who had the allegation that he was a rapist or something?
Oh wait,
Toby Turner.
Wait, really? I didn't know. I wasn't really like when I was watching YouTube like back then. I wasn't really paying attention about them. Oh, by the way, Browser Crusher, we already... Wait, before you answer, Browser Crusher, we already asked about Grade A, Under A, so, yeah, I mean, maybe later we'll talk to him about it again, but yeah, but anyways, keep going about the whole Toby Turner and
PewDiePie thing. So they used to have like a little bit of a feud, or it wasn't them so much, it was more of the fandoms. They kind of clashed in a really bad way, and they started, really... It was cute, actually, now that I think about it, because it was kind of the first, like, flame war of YouTube.
Yeah.
And so it was funny in that way, but I remember, like, at the time, I was very passionate. I was just like, Toby's so much better than fucking PewDiePie. PewDiePie sucks. But now, I mean, I look back at it, and I'm just like, Jesus, that's fucking cancer. Like, Toby is... He's definitely got his demographic, and I'll say that it's under 13, maybe.
Yeah.
So, and PewDiePie definitely has a wider range for the demographic. I mean, that I do watch his videos on occasion.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I've been wondering this. Do you think all these big YouTubers like PewDiePie and stuff? Do you think like the reason why they got famous is just because of pure luck?
Well, no. I mean, Game Theory did a pretty good video.
Yeah, and I've watched the Game Theory video about how PewDiePie like got really famous. I've watched that, and it's a really good video. But yeah, keep going.
Right. So I think that is it luck? Look, okay. When you're talking about entertainment, I think it's a common misconception to say that somebody got really lucky and that's why they're there. There are very, very few artists, quote unquote, that you can say that for. I would say that like Nick Cage, for instance, is one of them. Nick Cage got he got lucky because he basically won, the Gene lottery. Like I think his uncle is Francis Ford Coppola. So, I mean, he's a fucking, like a big director and was able to put him in some other Friends movies. And that's why he got so popular. So, I mean, like, PewDiePie, do I think that, like, PewDiePie was lucky in the same way that he was lucky? Not necessarily. I think that, like, PewDiePie definitely has a bit of talent, and he's always tried to put a lot of heart and soul into whatever it is that he's made. And I think that regardless of the analytical phenomenon surrounding him, it it is he should be admired. I think that he definitely has made good content on the whole.
Yeah, I mean, he has so much videos. I've seen a few videos. I don't hate him. I mean, he is a pretty good guy. I remember, like, back then when it's, like, the whole, hate PewDiePie bandwagon, stuff like that. I remember that. It's like, and who really cares? That's just my opinion. And I know I shouldn't be sharing my opinion, but, you know. I'm young, so I have that excuse.
Hold on 1 second, though, because Bailey, you said that you like Toby better, and that is okay. I don't mean to say that you're under 13 or whatever it is that I said. Like, if you like Toby, go for it. Go watch his stuff. Like, I've got nothing wrong. I've got nothing against him. I just think on the whole, his demographics, he tries to appeal to a younger demographic. But if you're okay, if you like that kind of content, that's fine. I mean, I watch Dora the Explorer sometimes.
No, we talk in the DMs. He watches it a lot, okay? Like, it's unhealthy. It's really unhealthy.
No, I do. It's bad, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, anyways, okay, so...
I just like boots, man. What can I say?
Yeah, exactly. So, what do you think of No Fuckers? You know, the crazy Russian pig.
I love No Fuckers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I like No Fuckers. I think No Fuckers is probably one of the few commentary channels who's actually doing it right. Like, I don't think he's ever... I don't know enough of his content to say that he's, like, completely perfect, but he's cool. Like, he's a cool guy. I've messaged him on... I've DM'd him on Twitter a couple times, and he's always responded. He's always been very polite. And I'm thinking about trying to set up something in the future so that I can try to work with him. Do like a collab or something like that. But in the distant future, when it's beneficial for him as well, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully you could. Yeah. And honestly, I like No Fuckers. I honestly think... Actually, no. I'll give my opinion on that in a different video. Okay, vegan gains.
Ooh, vegan gains.
Yeah, vegan
I would
gains.
love... You know, my dream of dreams is to get an interview with vegan gains.
Really?
Yes, I really, really badly want to interview vegan gains. Like,
why is that?
I can't tell you. Well, because I think he's very interesting. I think that, like, he's talk about somebody who's always had a lot of controversy surrounding them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, if you think Keemstar has a lot of controversy, that's nothing compared to what vegan gains has had. You're just saying.
Oh, hell no. I mean, vegan gains, it's not like Keemstar... I mean, Keemstar only threatens people's lives when they threaten his daughter. Vegan Gains just has made, like, a career out of telling people that he's going to kill them if they eat meat. If they eat, you know, the thing that humans were designed to also eat, as well as, you know, as plants. Yeah. So... I think that it's very... I want to get an interview with him, and I really want to get into his mind and see if, one, if he truly believes that or if it's a show, and then two, just, like, who is Vegan Gains? You know, like, what is he... Does he go around stabbing people on a daily basis, or, like, is it for show? Like, I'm curious.
Yeah, same. I mean, I honestly... He probably would... Like, basically, I could probably interview him. I would just have to say that I'm a vegan... and just keep saying I'm a vegan, because I think that what I'm thinking that if one of us could get an interview on him, he would have to think that, hey, we're vegans or something like that. At least by the way he acts. I mean, I don't know completely else, but for some reason, like, I think that he
is a vegan. I mean, I think that he probably is a vegan. I think that maybe, like, the whole, like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna stab you, whatever, like, I'm gonna slit your throat, and how graphic it gets. I think that might be part of the show. I have no idea, actually. I think there might be actually some stuff where he actually legitimately hurt somebody. I don't remember now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, so I think I'm going to say I think Vegan Gains is great because I want to get an interview with him. And I think that's the kind of stuff that I should say if I want to.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, what do you think of someone just asked us in the chat? Colossal is crazy.
Again, another guy very similar to Hey Watch Your Mouth. I haven't seen a lot of his content, but from the stuff that I have seen, he seems like a pretty, you know, another content creator that's trying to do something different rather than perpetuate, you know, the same style of video.
Sorry, finish.
He's pretty... What's that?
Sorry, I was about to say something, but you weren't done talking. Just keep going, sorry.
It's okay. So I think I think he's cool. I have nothing against him, and I think it's weird that he's so buddy with Keemstar though, and that they're making this new show together.
Mm-hmm.
Because that'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, because what he said on his Twitter is he's just doing it for fun, which, to be honest with you, there is some merit to that. I mean, yeah, sure, you might not like him, but if you have a chance to interview a guy who you hate and be on a show with a guy you hate, I would probably take that offer and, you know, say, hey, you know, it's just YouTube, you know, like, what else do I have to live for? I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, yeah. Because I honestly, like, yeah. So, yeah, okay, honestly, as you said how vegan games you like to interview him, I would love to interview Colossal Was Crazy. Like if you ask him if he had no Colossal Was Crazy, please talk to him because I would love to interview him. Like I really want to talk to that guy. He's really interesting in my opinion. But anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
JP, I see that you gotta go, man. Well, thanks for coming out. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And what do I think about his new show? I haven't seen his new show yet. I didn't even know that it was out yet. But from the idea of like a YouTube game show that's like a talent show as well, I guess. That sounds interesting. Sounds like a cool thing. I'm also in the business of making game shows on YouTube, so
yeah.
I mean, I'm glad to see that it's starting to be a thing.
Yeah, cool. So what do you think of Philip DeFranco?
Oh man, another guy who's just fantastic. Philip DeFranco, great guy, great guy. I think that on the whole, well, I mean, like me, he's a conservative, or like us, I guess I should say. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but from what I've watched of your other videos, it seems. What's that?
Yeah, well, no, I'm gonna say this right now. Yes, I'm definitely a conservative. It's fine, but yeah, keep going.
Right. Well, so I think that like it's nice to see somebody in the entertainment world, especially on YouTube, who isn't afraid to kind of stick up for those kind of things. Because I think a lot of times, a lot of conservatives hide behind hide behind like, oh no, I promise I'm PC, I promise I'm everything, like it's cool. Yeah. And I think that Philip DeFranco doesn't really give a fuck. I think he just does what he feels is right, and he, for the most part, has always done the right thing. And I think that like the few times that maybe he has screwed up, he's always mentioned it, and he's always been super cool. He's kind of like the anti-Keemstar. Like, he, in the sense that, like, in the sense that he does everything right and for the right reasons. I think that, like, Keemstar does everything wrong for the wrong reasons, but ends up with some positive outcomes.
Yeah.
Because Keemstar, frankly, I feel as though Keemstar is just really fucking lucky.
Well, it makes sense why you would think that way. So, one person asked in the chat, what do you think of the Basher situation? So, what do you think of the Basher situation?
Well, the fact that he's suing Keemstar, is that what you're asking?
Well, someone just asked it, like, okay, he says, I know it's old, but so probably, like, the whole Basher is, like, a pedo situation. Like, what do you think of that?
Okay, yeah, again, it goes back to what I was saying about Pyro, where, and this applies heavily for Basher. If he hadn't have freaked out, like, and he had just like approached the whole pedophile accusation calmly, and if he were to address it in a way that kind of undercuts the whole idea of it by either making fun of it or poking whatever, like the thing is that he fucking flipped out. He fucking flipped out. He said himself he was going to commit suicide after a video that he was, responding about it.
Yeah.
Like, how triggered do you have to be from, like, and by the way, the thing is that if you want somebody to believe that you are something, then what you do is you wait until somebody calls you that, and then you react to it overly. Because whatever your reaction is, it's going to be like, they're going to be like, oh, well, why did he have such a knee-jerk reaction for something that totally isn't true? So that just only furthers the idea that possibly that allegation could be true.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for instance, if you were to just come out and call me a pedophile, the first thing that I would say is just like, oh yeah, I love to fuck little kids. Because, like, what? Seriously, I know that I don't fuck little kids, so it's not like, who cares? Like, what's the big hoo-ha? So, hashtag what's the big hoo-ha? No, but like, so I think Basher is prone to overreacting, and I think that he is more of a knee-jerk guy than Keemstar even, which is unbelievable. Just fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But he's certainly entertaining to watch.
Okay, yeah, and as you just saw in the chat, I'm getting kind of spammed by some of my fan base, the really political, historical fan base, which I love, by the way. That's the exact kind of fan base I've been wanting, is like the people who actually know history and stuff like that. So yeah, like the whole Nazism thing, yeah. But anyways, okay, so let's see here. I'm trying to think of some other YouTubers that we could do. Do you have any YouTubers in your head that you would want to share your opinion about on the stream?
Well, I mean, as I stated kind of earlier in the stream, Game Grumps are always a very big inspiration for me. JonTron's a huge inspiration to me. I view all involved with Game Grumps or who have ever been involved with Game Grumps, like, you know, on any of their shows or anything like that, that whole community, fantastic group of people. I think, you know, JonTron's a fucking gem of the internet. Like, I wouldn't exist, I wouldn't be who I am without JonTron, because, like, he really made it possible and really made it, you know, it validated the whole YouTube thing in a way that I never was able to, you know, like, it validated it for me and, like, made me actually go to my parents and go, like, hey, guys, I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to, like, do stage stuff. I don't want to be, like, the stupid theater kid the rest of my life. I want to do YouTube. Yeah. And that's what I want to do, and I think I'm going to be successful at it. Yeah. And then I was able to show them some of his videos, and then they were just like, well, we can see it. Like, we get it. And that allowed me to pursue it.
That is... I
owe a lot to JonTron.
Yeah, okay, have you ever heard of Alternate History Hub?
I'm sorry?
Alternate History Hub. Have you ever heard of him?
Never, no.
Oh, you're missing out. Basically what he does is he basically has situations in history that have happened. He thinks, okay, what if these situations went wrong? And what if they changed, basically?
Interesting.
Yeah, you should
actually, I'm in the process of writing a show that is that actually is kind of like based off of that kind of premise.
Yeah.
The idea is that essentially it's what if the founding fathers decided to actually come to an agreement rather than like separating into Whigs and Federalists, I believe.
So basically,
I'm not good at history. I'm working with with my Florida education, it's yeah, so, like, the idea is that, and then basically the ramifications of what happened after that. I mean, the show in and of itself is not about that, but it takes place in a world where that has happened. Okay. So it takes place in the 90s that are very close to the 10s that we live in now.
Okay, cool. Nice. Honestly, that does seem pretty interesting. It really does. Yeah. Okay, so someone asked in the thing in the chat, what do you think about the drug smoking Luna? What do you think of him? Sorry, that didn't come out. But just like the pot smoking, you know, the Luna man. What do you think of him?
I like Luna.
Yeah,
I have no problems with Luna. He's been around. I think he's been around on YouTube for quite a while, and I've always seen him, his like videos and stuff like that. But it just never really appealed to me. Mm-hmm. But now that this whole like commentary style video is like a thing now. You know, looking at his content, like I've seen a couple of his videos again. I don't really know enough about him to say anything for sure, but he's all right, I guess.
Okay. So people are telling me in the chat about this Lost Pause thing. Who is Lost Pause? Do you know who they are?
Lost Pause?
Yeah. Or
no idea.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to. Alright. I don't know my. Okay. Anyways. Yeah. So okay. Let's see. Okay, have you ever heard of Devil Dog Gamer before? That's one of my friends wanted to ask you that. Have you ever heard of Devil Dog Gamer?
Devil Dog
Gamer?
No, I haven't.
Okay, basically what he does is he does Twitch streams, but he also plays video games. But he was an ex-Marine, so he basically just tells like his whole story about being a Marine and whatnot.
I'm sorry. Say that again. You were kind of cutting out.
Oh, sorry. He's an ex-Marine. And he basically just like tells a bunch of stories about how he was an ex-Marine and whatnot.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, and I actually think like one of my friends told me. I think he lives in the Orlando area. So, yeah.
Oh, really? That's neat.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. Yeah. Okay. I asked you this in the DMs, But for any of you out there, what do you think of Wild Spartans?
Wild Spartans is cool.
Okay.
He's we've talked before. We've had Skype combos and stuff like that.
Okay.
He's a cool guy. I think he has a different kind of outlook that I think is very, very good for the community. He's very self-aware, and which is fantastic, especially for the types of videos that he makes. He knows a lot about the game. He knows a lot about the YouTube world. He has a lot of connections within it, and it's no wonder that he's kind of blowing up right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like he's the kind of guy where it's just like, like I want to talk to him more. I want to like be involved with his biz, but at the same time, like I don't want to seem like I'm kind of leeching off of him. So I'm just kind of like trying to keep arm's length away and just kind of be like, like you go, dude, like you do your thing. But he actually was the one who actually reached out to me.
Yeah, I heard one of his videos.
Really cool.
Yeah, that he said that he talked to you. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, so what do you think of this guy named D-Max? Like, what do you think of his channel?
Oh man, all right. Well, fuck. I mean, I've been pretty positive so far, except for except for Gerald. But
yeah.
D-Max is, man, I just don't know when this guy is gonna give up, man. I just don't know when this guy is gonna stop. Like when he, like he has this ridiculous narcissism to him, where he truly believes that he can actually change the world for the better.
Yeah.
And that is just so altruistically. It's just so ridiculous. I just think, what a fucking idiot!
Exactly.
Like, what a fucking loser. Seriously.
Yeah, I know. I've honestly seen a few of his videos. Like, honestly, like it's really not that. It's really not that good. Like, he wants to change things. It's like things can change. That's the bottom line. I mean, yeah.
Oh, it's so true.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's just ridiculous that he believes, honestly, that just because he got a shout out from Keemstar, that he should go and defend Keemstar for all the negative shit that he's ever done. Yeah. And he's just basically a Leafy clone anyway, so it's not like it's not like he's adding anything really to the conversation.
Oh no, he's
trying
definitely
to make it seem like he's adding a lot to the conversation, and it doesn't help the fact that he is trying to have this whole air of being like a super villain mastermind that can kind of manipulate situations into his favors. I mean, fuck me, like who the fuck can do that anyway?
Yeah, okay. 3 more channels and then we're gonna go into something else. Okay, what do you think of Filthy Frank or Papa Franco?
Filthy Frank, motherfucker. He's cool. I don't know. I like his content, man. He's good. Like, it's time to stop. Like. Yeah. He's just a fucking meme. Like he's funny.
He's a living meme, and he's embraced it, really.
Yeah, I mean, like it's great. That's the cool thing about him. Again, it's another guy who's just extremely self-aware, kind of like Rice Gum in a way. You know, like I feel as though they're very similar, not just because they're Asian, but or like whatever the fuck.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
whatever his name is. Yeah. But anyway, like they're cool. Like I mean, he's cool.
Okay.
But the Frank is alright.
Okay. iDubbbz TV.
Oh man, people ask me about iDubbbz all the time.
Really?
Think about him.
Why? Why do people ask you about him all the time?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's just something that comes up like a lot. Again, another guy that I haven't seen enough of his content to really make any kind of judgment about him. But I watched the entirety of his Keemstar rant.
I'm pretty sure everyone
when I was researching stuff for Keemstar.
I'm pretty sure everyone watched it. I'm pretty sure everyone watched that video. That video was like it blew up, really.
Oh yeah. It was, and don't get me wrong, it was a really, really well made video. I think that like he is, in terms of like actual content, like he makes quality content, and like it's funny and it's interesting. Even if I disagree with some of the things that he's, I guess, said. I mean, it's. That's the way it goes. But again, I was entertained watching it. I stayed for the whole video. I actually dropped a like on it because it was a good video. Yeah. For me, I thought that the quality of the video and how much enjoyment I got out of it was better than the pettiness of like disagreeing with his opinion.
Okay. Lastly, what do you think of political history? What do you think of that guy's YouTube channel?
Oh man, I mean he's a nobody, man. What can I say?
Yeah, okay, so like go more in depth about like what do you think of him?
Well, he's a fucking. I mean, he comes right out on his channel trailer and just calls Bernie a socialist, which is not true. Obviously, he's a democratic socialist.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I gotta be PC.
He is not. There's a big difference. The difference is, one is trying to promote the ideals of democracy versus, full-on socialism. I mean, he's not a Marxist, for Christ's sake,
Yeah.
So I think that that guy is just a little off base there, but who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what do you think he deserves to? What do you think he deserves to be successful in YouTube? What do you think he just deserves to just go die or whatever?
Do I think he deserves to be successful on YouTube?
Yeah.
I think I think that anybody deserves to be successful on YouTube if they earn it.
Yeah. Alright, cool. Okay, so obviously this is a political show, so we should get talking into politics. So this whole political 2016 election, it's been a whole whirlwind. Basically, people have called it a reality show, which I 100% agree with. So what do you think about this 2016 election? Like, political scientists are going to be studying this for years and years to come. So what do you think of it?
Oh, it's so true. It's so true. This is a very interesting time to be awake in. This is a very, very interesting time to be to be, I don't know, observing all of this that's going on, especially when you're able to take yourself out of the equation and forget about your own principles and what you would stand for regularly, and just kind of like look at everything that's going on, because it's interesting. So places in Europe are calling this the American political circus, which is a very, very accurate description of this, I believe. There's a lot of stuff that's happening it's just, I'm not sure how to put this. It's, I don't know, it's just fascinating. Like you said, like people are going to be talking about this and discussing this and researching stuff about this for years to come. And just, I think that the main thing, the biggest thing, the elephant in the room when talking about politics in America right now is always Donald Trump.
Oh, of course.
And, because it's a huge deal. This is a huge deal. And I mean like a huge in the sense that like, in the way that Trump would say, huge, like that kind of thing. I think that it's great. I think that, I guess I won't beat around the bush. I fully support Donald Trump. I think that he I think that he is telling the American people the truth. I think that he is, whether you believe that he's working for his own benefit, for selfish needs or whatever it is, I think that he's trying to do the best for the American people. And I think that is something that you can't say about Hillary Clinton at all. Like he's like he said in one of his recent talks, or one of his recent speeches, he's with us, and we're supposed to be with her. It's like he's with us. That's the main thing. He's going to put Americans first. He's not going to feed into this globalist nonsense that we've been trying to, this whole Marxist agenda that we've been force-fed for years and years and years. So I can't wait. I hope that he gets in office. In fact, I would make the assumption that I believe that he will get in office. And when he does, or if he does, I fully believe that he is going to make America great again.
Okay, so considering you're a Trump supporter, I'm sorry, but I cannot let any Trump supporter on my show, so I mean, D-Max, you gotta leave. You gotta go.
Oh, shit. All right, well, I'm a millennial, so I could just... All right, how about this? I'm a Bernie supporter. There you go.
Okay, I do want to say something. Basically, one of my videos, I honestly regret making it, the opinion on Bernie Sanders one, just because it was not what I wanted it to be. And honestly, my opinion on Bernie Sanders has changed, but that video, honestly, it's probably the worst one I've made so far. I mean, none of my videos are worse, but honestly, it did not turn out how I thought it was going to turn out, and there's a lot of stuff that I just wasn't clear about, but yeah. But I honestly...
Yeah,
keep going. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, it's okay. I think... what needs to be said about Bernie Sanders is that he is actually... by all accounts, and I don't think anybody can really say otherwise, he's a remarkable human being, and he's done a lot of good. Yeah. He's done a lot of great things for a lot of people. He's always I think, in terms of being honest, I fully believe the message that he is spreading around. I think that he is actually trying to do the best for the American people, which is why I didn't lump him in the same category as Hillary. He is, but my biggest problem with Bernie, and a reason why I will never vote for him, is because he's a socialist. Whether he's a Democrat or not, Democratic or not, he is a socialist.
He's still a socialist,
At its core, he believes in Marxist ideas, and that to me is a perversion of the capitalist world that we live in, and this capitalist country that was founded to run with capitalism. And so it doesn't make any sense to now shift over and be a socialist nation purely because some people, frankly, don't want to get out and work. That to me is appalling and ridiculous behavior, and it doesn't stand for American values at all.
Yeah, and honestly, what I said about Bernie Sanders, he is a socialist, but I don't think I did specify it in my trailer video where I said that his socialism is better than regular socialism, at least at the end of it, but I don't think I clarified enough that he is a democratic socialist, which is something I totally should have clarified. Honestly,
No. We can't whitewash this. No, I think that you criticizing him for just being a socialist. He is a socialist. You can't say, because you add the word democratic to something does not necessarily mean that it is less of a piece of shit of what it is. Socialism, any kind of socialism, is not good. It's not a good thing. It's not going to make a lasting economy. It's not going to make a lasting country. And I think that also I find it very interesting that democratic would be put on top of it. I think a lot of people in this country, and a lot of Democrats, surely, believe that we live in a democratic country, that we live in a country that is founded upon democratic ideals. And that is not true. We live in a constitutional republic. So it's definitely. This whole idea of a democracy doesn't hold up either. Democracy lasts probably just as long as socialism before it dissolves into either an anarchy or an oligarchy. So it's not going to work. Democratic or otherwise, socialism is bad.
Yeah, definitely. And I would want to get. This is an interview, so I'm not going to give my opinion too much. I mean, I could make a video on it. Hey, D-Max, you wanna collab on a political history video, and then we'll really share our opinion? No, I'm kidding. But,
what's that?
Collab. Do you want to collab with me right now? And by the way, if you say no, you're totally gonna. I'm gonna lose all connection with you. So you better say yes. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. Keep going.
Well, I mean, how about this? I'll be the magic 8 ball here. Ask again later.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's fair. Okay, so speaking of Bernie Sanders, do you believe that the Democrats rigged the Democrat primary process to elect Hillary Clinton?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. I feel so badly for Bernie Sanders and for Bernie Sanders supporters. I think that it was absolutely and totally rigged from the ground, from the flow up to the toe up, if you understand.
Okay.
First of all, the way that the Democratic system, the way that the Democratic primaries work with the superdelegates and everything like that, that's just fucking bullshit. Outright ridiculous nonsense. I don't understand how anybody could have seen that as uncorruptible. And now they're starting to see that is the problem, the error of their ways. And that's why I feel pretty confident that a lot of Bernie supporters are going to eventually wind up, coming to daddy, coming to Trump. Yeah. So it'll happen. But anyway, Bernie Sanders has been totally screwed over. To be honest, I feel as though the American people have been completely gypped of the discussion and the debate that should have been happening, which is between Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders. I want Donald Trump to win, but I want him to win a fair fight. And by all accounts, I believe that Bernie Sanders should have been the nominee for the Democratic Party. Yeah. It would have been a lot harder for Donald to win, but I think, or it would be a lot harder for Donald to win if he was. But I think that it is something that needs to happen. And I think even if it came to Bernie Sanders being elected president, if it was fair, then it's fair. You know, that's kind of how I see it. But the whole thing that, you know, I mean, Hillary's fucking rigged the entire system. The votes are rigged. I mean, the Democratic, the whole bit, it's all rigged.
Yeah. And I would honestly say that I wouldn't say it's just Hillary. I would say it's the whole establishment, because she has been moving more to the right in recent years than she has more to the left. I mean, she honestly could be considered a moderate Republican at this point, at least in my opinion.
Well, okay, let me get something straight. Is that being a politician is a hard game to play, especially when in the environment that is right now. I mean, fuck. I mean, like this. It's just hard enough with Trump, but now you also have Bernie, who is so far left that it's just like, you know, in order to get some of the other people and to like be different, she's going to have to pull a little bit to the right anyway. So she's found herself in a very interesting predicament, especially with all the allegations against her, now turning possibly criminal. Which, you know, I mean, hey, but again, you know, but it's okay. Our president wants to, you know, put their vote behind a potential criminal. That's fine. But the thing is that, like, it's okay for a politician to change their mind if they truly believe that it's best for the country. But she does not. She is doing it because it is, and it's pretty blatantly obvious if you listen to her for even 5 seconds, that she is doing this to pander to an audience so that she will become elected. And she, once she gets in office, I feel like she's going to do less than Obama. She'll probably do worse than Obama, because I don't see it. She's never really done any good. Everything that she's been in has been, you know, scandal after scandal. I mean, fuck, where she got her fucking start was in Watergate. I mean, be it she was on the right side, but she's got her start in fucking Watergate. That should tell you something about her.
Yeah. Okay, I've been just reading the chat here. I gotta put this out. But Jared really wants to yell at you about being a Donald Trump supporter. I think he's really angry at you about that. I think he wants to get under the show. It's funny.
Oh jeez, well, do you want me to add him?
I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, sure. Do you want to? Like, do you legit want to?
I can.
Okay. Sure,
Gerald,
go ahead.
Do you want it or no?
Yeah, do you like legitimately want it?
Gerald, do you want it? Let's see.
Well, we'll wait, because it gets a little laggy. We'll see if Gerald actually wants to be added onto the show.
I don't know. I'll give it a good minute.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Why frowny face?
Well, why? Hey, Gerald, by the way, I would really like to talk to you on Twitter about your memeing by what's his face? That one guy. Yeah, by Hey Watch Your Mouth. So let's talk in the Twitter DMs, Gerald. I would really like to ask you about that. But anyways, okay, so obviously I was gonna ask this question, but I'm pretty sure I know your answer. Who would you be voting for, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump? But I'm pretty sure I know your answer is. It's Donald Trump.
Oh, Hillary, for sure.
Hillary. Oh, okay, yeah. So why Hillary?
I would vote for Donald Trump. Yeah. Just about. See, the thing is, like, there's nobody in the establishment even I would vote for. I wouldn't vote for. I mean, I know Cruz was like the front runner for a while. Somebody just posted about him being born in Canada. I mean, I don't know about all that, but I mean, Cruz wouldn't make it. I mean, nobody would be able to have. Nobody would have an impact on America that would be as profound as I believe Donald Trump to be. And to be honest, I'm willing to admit that it is a bit of a crapshoot whether he's actually going to do good for this country or not, based on his record in business. But I am willing to take the chance.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you're willing to take the chance. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Now let's go to some other hot button issues. So seeing the thing with Orlando, which you did make a video about, and I did like that video that you made on Orlando. That's very heroic. Well, I shouldn't say heroic, but I guess like it's very good of you to make that video. So I applaud you for that. But
right, before we get into this very serious thing, Gerald wants me to add him. Should I do it?
Sure. We'll add him for like a couple minutes. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I add him.
All right.
See. All right.
Let's see here.
This is gonna be so funny. Gerald.
Hello?
Gerald.
Hello.
Hi,
hey,
Gerald. How's it going?
Thanks. That's a fucking Donald Trump supporter. If I ever see you in my neighborhood, I'll fucking shoot you in your balls, okay?
Well, I don't know how you're going to be able to do that because if you elect anybody else, they're going to take away your guns. So.
Ooh! I gotta get my popcorn out. This is drama alert.
If you ever come to Sweden, I'll shoot you in the balls, okay?
Sweden? Where? What?
I live in Sweden, so if you ever come here, I'll shoot you in the balls.
Well, that would entail me trying to get a visa to go anywhere else, which I guess would make sense if I were to vote for anybody other than Donald Trump. You know, the whole globalism thing would probably be a lot easier to go over to Sweden. I mean, I will if you want, but you know, you're gonna have to fund the rope, and you're gonna have to ship it to my house and everything. You know.
Oh, this is.
Do it, man. It's all good.
Ooh.
Do what you gotta do, right?
You're like Alex, a stupid nigger.
Whoa, that is
coming out with the racial slurs.
Yeah, that is. Ooh.
Who is Alex?
Yeah, I've been wondering that too. I don't know who he is. Like I think I mean I know he's a real person. I just don't know like if he's even in the public spotlight anymore.
Yeah.
I'm a blog TV with my fucking hands up. I'm not starting this shit. Alex is a stupid nigger. You fucking nigger.
Okay. I think we should.
Are you just Keemstar now, or is it like?
I think we should go back to the other topics before my stream reaches 0 because it's only at 5. So yeah, let's. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Gerald, it's been nice having you on.
Yeah, okay. It's been, yeah.
Alright, well, Gerald, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
I love you.
Gerald, I want to talk to you in the DMs. You
Bye,
seem
Gerald.
interesting guy.
Bye, Gerald. I love you. Alright, he's gone.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, so what do you?
A serious discussion for the adults.
Yeah. So what do you think about gun control? Considering you live in an Orlando area, and I guess you've experienced the shooting.
Yes.
I guess. What do you think about? Do you think there should be some gun control? I mean, if you're uncomfortable with answering it, that's totally okay.
No. It's okay. I'm fully okay with answering it. The thing is that gun control is a very sticky issue because you got to understand that the reason, I think everybody has to understand, and I think everybody who wants gun control has to understand this as well, and I think that it's something that's not necessarily said enough. The Second Amendment was not made so that you could protect yourself against vandals or anybody who wants to come and do you harm. That's not why it was there. The reason why the Second Amendment was made in the first place was to defend yourself from a potentially corrupt government, should they ever try to extort you in any kind of way. It's so that you as an individual can retain your freedom by being able to fight in any opposition to that freedom. So regardless of whether it's the government or whoever it is. So first of all, I think that is something that you need to understand about the crux of the issue. So putting any kind of laws or any kind of control on guns isn't going to help the issue, which is frankly that crazy people can get their hands on guns. But the thing is that if you regulate it in any way, if you make it so that the government can tell you who is a crazy person and who isn't a crazy person and who should be allowed to have a gun and who shouldn't be allowed to have a gun, then basically you are giving the government the power to be able to take that away from you. And you may be a crazy person who wants to have a gun and wants to go shoot up some gays at a nightclub. I mean, God forbid. But the thing is that what if you aren't? What if you are just somebody who's trying to protect yourself from a potentially corrupt government and they see you as a threat? They could take away your guns and call you a terrorist, put you on the no-fly list or whatever it is, and you wouldn't be able to defend yourself. You wouldn't be able to start up a militia. You wouldn't be able to, to try to do all these things. And anybody who says that argument doesn't hold up because individual citizens are not going to be able to defend themselves from the government with the amount of firepower that they have, frankly, is pessimistic, I feel.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make any sense, in the long term. Like, it just, having an armed public, having the public that, has the possibility of being able to rise up against that kind of threat is so important for freedom. Yeah. And it's something very unique about the United States that nowhere else in the world really has. That's why it was number 2. It's not like
it was freedom of speech, because like the whole way that whole document was written was that freedom of speech so that they could give themselves the ability to be able to speak about whatever it is that they're going to say. Then the Second Amendment directly after that to protect that freedom. So if you get rid of that, you're essentially getting rid of all of your other freedoms as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and I do want to say this about it. A lot of people don't know that the Second Amendment was to protect ourselves against the government, not to, for private security reasons. So I'm very glad that you stated that, because most people that at least I talk to, and I'm pretty sure most people totally just, don't know that.
No, I need my gun so I can go out and shoot all of the deer in the neighborhood, and then I can go out and shoot some cans, some Mexicans, some Puerto Ricans, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And by the way, someone asked to give his gun control speech, which actually that is one of my friends. I would say sure, except this stream has already gone pretty long, and I might need to be going it off soon. So no, you cannot give me a gun control speech. I'm so sorry. That's one of my friends anyway. But anyways, yeah. So I guess this is another issue. What do you think about Great Britain leaving the EU? This has been really big. What do you think about leaving the EU? Do you think it was a good decision, bad decision? What do you think about that?
Well, I'll say, okay, let me check my privilege here, I guess. I live in the U.S. I don't really know, I don't really know much about the way the British government works. I do know that they have checks and balances very similar to ours. I know that their governments are kind of similar in a lot of ways, but very much not in a lot of ways too. So I can't really say for certain if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. People that I highly respect and look up to all think that this is a great thing that's happened for them. So the only judgment, or the only thing that I can really say about it, with pretty full certainty, is that any time that you make a government smaller, anytime you are more inclined for nationalism versus globalism, it's a good thing, because smaller governments get things done better, because an overinflated government is going to stimulate the bureaucrats to just sit around and not be able to do all this. It's not going to work out as well. So I think Britain leaving the EU with the Brexit is going to be a good thing. And I think that we've already started to see some of the positives of it. I don't really know what the specifics are of those yet, but I think also it's pretty telling for the situation that America's in with Donald Trump, and that people are starting to wake up and realize that our government has been hijacked by Marxist ideology. And I don't mean that in a conspiratorial way. I just mean it, and I don't even necessarily mean it inherently in a negative way. I think it was done with the best intentions at the time. But things like Social Security, things like healthcare, things like that, I think it doesn't make any sense for a capitalist society that we live in. It was a good idea at the time, probably for different circumstances under the Great Depression and things like that. But in today's context, I think everybody's free. Everybody's pretty much doing okay. I mean, America is in the hole, $20 trillion, which is for good, for better, for worse. Well, not for better or for worse, but due to people on both sides of the equation. And I think that what needs to be, well, this is kind of going off topic, but I think more than anything, the thing that I would stand up for the most in terms of government and politics is that we need to do away altogether with the political party system. It has done absolutely nothing for this country in the entirety of its existence but divide people and divide citizens from what is actually going on. And and the problem with it is that people are more inclined to go for like, oh, I vote red team or I vote blue team, without looking at the actual ramifications of whatever it is that they're trying to do. And I think that getting rid of the party system would cause people to have to research into things more and research into specific candidates more, and would open the floor for people who have never had a chance, what's it called? Libertarians, things like that.
Yeah.
I think on the whole, libertarians are kind of crazy, but I think there are some good libertarians that just haven't really had a platform because within their own party, they've been kind of silenced, and it's not like you can go anywhere in the Libertarian Party anyway. So
yeah. Okay, my friend, he has a speech. He's actually going to be one of the co-hosts, and he's going to be making like some of these podcasts for my channel soon. He wants to give a gun control speech, 5 minutes or less. What do you want him to add? What do you want me to add him in the call, or like, do you care?
Yeah, sure. I mean, does he? Is he in opposition to gun law, or is he?
He is kind of in opposition. Yeah, I would say.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Wait.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'm interested.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. To add him on, how would you do that? I'm kind of mentally stupid when it comes to this.
Oh yeah. So go ahead and left click like the group, and there should be an option to, or right click. Sorry, right click.
Yeah.
And there should be like an option to add people.
Okay. Let's see here. Add lists. Okay. Leave conversation. Add to list. Add to. Would it be add to list, or would it be? New people.
It should be add people.
Okay, yeah, I don't see it. It all says is lead call. If I just called him, would that, like, get him out of the call, or?
If you what?
If I just called him directly, would that get you out of the call?
I think unless you're adding him to the conversation, it wouldn't work. Do you have... Can you...
Yeah, Nate, add your Skype in the chat, and D-Max will invite you to it. Is that what you want him to do, or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, if he's comfortable doing that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. If you're comfortable with doing that, Nate, I guess just add D-Max in the chat, and add him on the Skype, I guess. If you're okay with that, that is.
That's fine.
Okay. Because I don't want, like, a bunch of my friends adding you and then, like, oh, you know what, bugging you and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. DM me whenever you can. Okay, yeah, sweet. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, I guess he'll add you whenever he has a really, really quick, like, gun control speech. He showed me do it in, like, on his, like Instagram or whatever. Like, then he just got, like, a bunch of hate for it or whatever. It was really funny. If he doesn't add you, I think we'll just start talking about other stuff until he adds you. But anyways,
okay.
So speaking of, like, the party system and whatnot, do you think that a lot of these politicians, like, the party system allows them where they cannot be flexible with their political beliefs? Do you believe that as, like, a true statement, or?
Okay, well, the way that I believe that the way that the political party system is kind of designed right now, it's, yes, I think you're correct. It doesn't allow people to be themselves. It makes them have to choose certain views in order to get it makes them pander. It makes them have to pander to a certain type of thing. Because the thing is, like, you can't be a Republican and be in favor of gay marriage. You can't be a Republican and be against gun control. And the thing is, like, the lines are starting to muddy. One of my favorite speakers right now, Milo Yiannopoulos, he comes out with this whole idea of cultural libertarianism that's kind of happening with our generation. And I think it's very fascinating, and it's very true. You know, there's a lot of us who are more so in the middle. We don't care about gay,
okay.
We don't care if gays want to get married, that's fine. We really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
We have our opinions about illegal immigration and things like that. But we're very much in the middle. We're very liberal on social issues, but we're very conservative about
by the way,
fiscal responsibilities.
I'm gonna add my friend to the call now, I guess. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Add to call. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So I'm adding him to the call right now. I just figured out how to do that. I'm sorry. I'm yeah.
No, it's okay.
Basically,
I'm interested to see what this is gonna be.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. As long as he answers. Nate, you here?
Hello?
Nate, hi.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so
Hi. So I wanted to give my gun speech.
All right. Let's hear it, Nate.
I was just trying to. My whole family is a bunch of Democrats, super Democrats, huge Democrats. Actually, my sister got triggered a few times today, so this is making it quite easy to find ways to counter, seeing that they tell me things all the time. So basically, this is all I want to say. When car accidents happen, we don't blame the car, we blame the driver. Sure, okay, guns kill people more than cars do, but this is where you gotta realize the point. Guns and people kill people, first of all. I'm just gonna state it like that. And when it comes down to, like, people are like, oh, okay, my sister tells me this all the time, like, what can we be like to Japan and ban guns from America? I'm like, well, one, if you look at it, Japan's on an island. There's two ways to get through it. It's called a cargo ship or airplanes. Well, airports typically don't let you bring guns onto aircraft. I'm just kidding. They don't let you bring guns on aircraft. And two, you can't take a John boat down to Japan. You have to take a large cargo ship where, once again, they have security there, high security. So you look at America, and we're not an island, and you notice how we have two countries that allow guns, and we're stuck between them. And if you think people can't sneak guns into America, look how many illegal immigrants we have, including the fact that in Mexico, this kind of drug-struck, this horde, I don't want to say horde, I don't know how to put it, this country that's kind of going downhill is right below us. Now, like, I don't really know how to exactly put this, but when people, I understand that gun control will help reduce the amount of gun violence, but that's just going to increase the amount of violence all the time. So people don't realize that when shootings are stopped by police, around 18 people are killed. When shootings are stopped by civilians, around 2 people are killed. And like Japan, people are like, oh, Japan has any gun violence. Yes, that's true, but if you look at their murder history, it's just as bad as ours. And not to mention, basically, this is what ISIS does. ISIS targets the weak-minded. They basically, kind of, I wouldn't say control, but they convince people to do things that they want to do. I guess social media is probably one of the more dangerous parts, but that's kind of hard to control. Now, I recently, just saying, I was his friend who asked about Devil Dog Gamer, and because he spoke about the shooter, because the shooter actually went to his school. He was a year ahead of him, or a grade ahead of him. And the guy also lived only 10 miles away. Now, he was investigated by FBI twice for talking to terrorists, and that terrorist later blew himself up in a general store. And yet, he still kept his gun rights, along with his job, where he worked as a security guard. And his security company was very well known for defending a nuclear power plant. So just imagine what would have happened if you worked at that nuclear power plant. That would have been much worse. If you look at, like, gun violence, oh, guns kill a lot of people. Well, 9/11. 2,000 people died. I don't know how many people were injured. Way more than like 10,000 probably. And there were absolutely no guns involved there at all.
So is that basically all you
say? That's basically what I gotta say
about it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, yes, absolutely. I agree 100%. I think to disarm the public is not going to fix the overall problem. Because the other thing, too, is that, like you said, we have, first of all, Mexico is importing a lot of guns into our country anyway.
Yep.
So it's not like, and the thing is, since we can't control the immigration problem with Mexico, we're not going to be able to stop guns from entering the country. So disarming the people is not going to solve anything, because the thing is that people who commit crimes typically don't follow the law. So making a gun law is kind of a back-asswards way of trying to fix the problem. It's not going to work.
Exactly. And another thing I want to say is, let's see, Gun Control Hall of Fame, I'm just going to call it that. Joseph Stalin, he took away guns from his civilians in 1929.
Yes, absolutely.
20 million were murdered. All right.
I see where we're going with this.
He took guns away from his civilians in 1956, murdered 2 million of them. Hitler took guns away from his civilians in 1938 and murdered 13 million of them. And Mao took guns away from his citizens, and in 1935, he murdered 20 million of them. And, I mean, a lot of people, I just don't get people. I understand. It's like, oh, well, a lot of people want to ban AR-15s, just AR-15s, because I understand that there's no way that they can completely ban guns with the Second Amendment being there, even though, they can make another amendment to take that out, which I doubt they will.
That would be possible.
Yeah, exactly. But the only... Like, people want to ban AR-15s because that's what a lot of people seem to.
It's not even what he used. It's not even what the guy used.
The dangerous things are handguns. Handguns are concealed. You'll never see them. If you have concealed, even if you don't have concealed carry and you put one in your pants, no one's ever gonna freaking notice. And people are like, oh, but AR-15s are assault rifles. Like, oh no, they're just a normal freaking rifle.
You
And
cannot.
a pistol is a much bigger caliber. It doesn't matter. Okay, we're not in actual war. We're not in actual. Okay, well, we are at war, but our civilians, an AR-15 is meant at firing long range. A pistol is meant to firing short range, which is what all these shootings are at. And I would rather be shot by an AR-15 than like M1911 Colt, because that is a much bigger caliber. Now, I'm not saying ban handguns, because banning handguns is a much bigger thing than AR-15s. But this is like the whole Orlando shooting. Ironically, there's like I'm on vacation right now. They're having like a pride parade here, which is kind of weird. But everyone's just like, I just hear constantly.
It happens every other week in Orlando,
exactly.
so don't even worry about it.
Yeah. If you and my sister like getting all triggered and stuff about like whenever I speak, whenever I say anything really politically, she always is on my butt. Like,
okay, yeah.
Just call her a racist, because the thing is that most Democrats are racist anyway.
Oh, really?
The thing is, the Democratic Party has not changed since the Civil War all that much. So. I mean, if they give you any shit, just call them racist.
I thought it was funny because I said I enjoyed the movie American Sniper, and she said that I'm sexist and racist because the movie's sexist, right? She's like, the movie is sexist because they shoot Muslims. She's like, they shoot Muslims. I'm like, first of all, wouldn't that be? I'm like, first of all, that's not racist or sexist. And second of all, they're shooting terror. She's like, well, they betray him as Muslim. I'm like, how? She's like, I don't know. I didn't see the movie. I'm like, then how do you know this? Tumblr? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, that explains a lot.
Explain what they do in Libya, dude. I mean, like, all she's got to do is just look up what Sharia law is, and then she'll see what exact sexist thing. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, I know. She got triggered at McDonald's. I asked her if she wanted a boy or a girl to play, and she's like, please keep gender roles out of my
joking.
Like
that. You're fucking
nope.
kidding.
Okay, yeah.
And I've never heard her say anything like this until like this past week. Okay. Anyway, get on top of there.
Yeah, no. So you mentioned genders. Actually, that is something very important. I think that a lot of conservatives just need to come to the conclusion that the thing is that this whole gender thing is not going to go away. It's not going to be, whether you agree with it, disagree with it, whatever it is. Who the fuck cares anyway? You know, it's kind of like the whole race thing. It's like, why do we even care? Why do we even put it on forums anymore? It's like, you know, this whole, like, the whole idea that, you know, you should call somebody an African American versus, you know, calling them whatever else. Or,
oh, yeah, that's stuff. It's like, you gotta call them African American because they're from Africa. It's like, well, technically I'm German, so I'm from the EU, so you gotta call me European American.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's just, the thing is, like, any kind of thing where you add okay, I am a firm believer in the idea that if you add a prefix to whatever it is, you get further away from it. So, I mean, like, you know, this applies to a lot of things. Socialism is one of them. Again, democratic socialism. It is socialism at its core. But it's like, you know, African American. So what you're saying is you're an African first, and then you're an American second. But that's not the way it is. Most of these people, by a pretty huge majority, have not come from Africa. They have, you know, relatives who, like, you know, and it's like distant relatives. It's like great grandfather.
Yeah, huge ancestors.
You know, so and some of them actually it had to be like great grandfathers, because some of them were actually migrated from Europe, not straight from Africa.
This is interesting.
You know, there's a fantastic movie that I cannot remember the name of, but it talks about some of the stuff involving the whole like process that, you know, the Africans, some of the Africans had to come to this country. Man, I don't remember what it's called, but it's a great movie. Anyway, sorry, if I ever remember it, I'll tweet it at you, and then you can put it. But anyway, getting off topic. Yeah, but anyway, the I forgot what I was saying, but I think I was talking about gender at one point. I don't know how I got into race. But we just need to let people be themselves. Yeah. We don't really. We should stop caring about what do you identify as, what do you blah blah blah. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's like
you're a human.
If you want to be a potato, you can be a potato. That's fine. But you know, you're a human, and what genitalia do you have?
Yeah.
That's what we should,
exactly.
What genitalia do you have? Because it's not controversial to ask that question, and it should never be, because it's accurate. It's just like, what genitalia do you have, so that we can perform the correct medical procedures on you, because that's the only reason